foundational principles always remain the same. It's the method of achieving that can change as technology changes. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And as we know that technology changes, well, I can't predict what's going to happen with technology, but what I can do is go over with you some of the basics of philosophical basics that will help you go from point A to point B to point C that have been proven true over the years. These are some very, very famous sayings. This is the second session that we've had on these. Here we go with 10 more. The pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The realist adjusts the sails. Too many people, Eli, and that's from William Arthur Ward, who's a famous author. Too many people, Eli, all they do is complain. They don't do anything about it, but they complain. And then there's the people that are the optimists that say, hey, you know what? We're in that particular mode, stuff's going to change. The realist adjusts the sails. The realist says, you know what? I've got to do something. And that kind of reminds me of something that one of my first mentors, Mort Mutnick, taught me. He said, you know, Eli's dad, a lot of people are saying, you know what, I'm going to wait until the economy changes. You know, right now we're in sort of a down economy. I'm going to wait till the economy changes before I start my new business. And Mr. Mutnick pointed out to me, he said, listen to this. When we have the good economy, that's the unusual time. When we have the bad economy, that's the normal. So people are waiting for the unusual, and the time to start any new idea, any new concept, any new business is right now. Now is always the best time. Don't wait for the winds to change, because they may or they may not, and the point is what's actually normal, the good time or the challenging time. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? That's from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You know, one of the things, Eli, you know, we all have our ups and our downs. One of the things that I found to be kind of an effective medicine when you're feeling down is to help somebody else who's in a worse position than you are. And when you help them and you bring them back up to their feet, then you become inspired. I don't know exactly why that works, but it does, and I'm not the first person to say that. So what is it that you're doing for other people? Another thing is, Zig Ziglar said that when you help enough other people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. What are you doing to help other people? You help others, you help yourself. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. And that's from a gentleman named Plutarch, who was a famous Greek philosopher. And no, to be candid with you, I had never heard of him either, but he's a Greek philosopher. Anyway, what we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. Here's the point. Before you change anything on the outside, you first got to change what's on the inside, in the 6 inches between your ears. Once you do that, then you will see things differently. So you've got to change what's on the inside first, because once you have that new vision on the inside, then things start to look different around you. So change your paradigm, change your vision, change your view, and that first starts on the inside. Don't wait for the winds to change. What you want to do is change your location. Change your mental location. Robert Louis Stevenson, famous author, Treasure Island. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. The more seeds that you plant in a positive way, the outcomes are going to be more productive. Too many people are focused on what was my payback today, what was my payback today, what was my payback today. If you want to be an achiever, you have to have long-term visions that are united with short-term actions. And the short-term actions don't produce a lot every single day. What happens is they start to compound, and they compound and compound and compound until one day you've reached the big goal, and it can go like from here to here in one big jump, because that's the way compound interest works. So don't judge your harvest by what you reap today, but by the seeds that you're planting. And when you compound those, then your result, your burning desire result that you want to achieve, will come to you. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one that has been opened for us. That's from Helen Keller. Helen Keller, blind, deaf. There's a lady that had stuff to overcome. Would you agree? There's a famous book and a famous play called The Miracle Worker about the woman that worked with Helen Keller. Helen Keller became one of the most admired people in society. When one door of happiness closes, another one opens. Another way of saying that, Napoleon Hill says it, from every negative, a positive seed evolves. But you often look so long at the negative, it's like, oh, woe is me, that you don't see that there's a new door that you can walk through. How many people have been fired from a job, and then they're saying, oh boy, I'm fired. And then when push came to shove, they had to find a new job, and the new job paid them more, was more satisfying, gave them more opportunity for advancement. But you've got to look and you've got to see that other door. You can't dwell on the negative. You've got to look forward so that you can see a new possibility. And that's a difficult thing for anybody. And that's especially true in your personal life when you break up from somebody in a relationship. But you've got to move on. Same thing is true in the business. You make a mistake, if you run into a hardship, you've got to move on. You've got to see that there's a new door opening, that there's a positive seed, and sometimes that's difficult and sometimes it takes some time, but you've got to have that mindset. Honesty is the first chapter in the Book of Wisdom, Thomas Jefferson. When you are a leader of a group of people and people come to you for advice, you've got to be transparent, you've got to be honest with them, because the first moment that you are not, your credibility is shot. Excuse me. And at that particular point in time, your usefulness as a wise person gets completely diminished. It's about credibility. So, the first chapter in the Book of Wisdom is honesty, transparency. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. That's a quote from Anne Frank. You've heard of the Diary of Anne Frank. She was a little girl that was in Germany during World War II under the terror of Hitler, and was hidden in somebody's house, and it just couldn't have been more unpleasant circumstances. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. We can all do a little something. Let's do a little something to help somebody in need. Does that make sense? Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. Henry David Thoreau, famous author. If you want to be a great achiever, you have to have a great dream. You have to have a great vision. Let your imagination run wild. See yourself doing outstanding things. And then live that life. Start with a game plan that gets you to the first starting line. Getting to the first starting line will give you momentum. It will enable you, when you encounter your first roadblock, to get to the next starting line. Have that vision. That vision is what is the motivation that keeps you going. So you have to have the mental and the physical. You have to see it, feel it, smell it, touch it. And then you must take action. And you've got to take action every single day. So see it, feel it, and then do something about it. Live the life that you have imagined, and then you will. Always remember that you are absolutely unique, just like everybody else. This is one of my favorite quotes, and I never knew, it's from a lady named Margaret Mead. Now, I never knew that she said that. I saw that there was this car repair place that always used to put these neat sayings on their marquee. And the one that I remember the most, and I've used it many times on this channel, is "You are a unique individual just like everyone else." It says two things. Number one, you have unique qualities, you have unique abilities, you have a unique mindset, you have unique dreams, goals, and ambitions. And so does everybody else. So take advantage of the fact that you are unique, but always keep in mind that other people have their own visions, their own path to follow, and that you don't always want to be a follower. Sometimes you want to be a trailblazer. So you are a unique individual just like everybody else. And because we'll never end a meeting on a philosophical note, take these sayings, use them. Remember, philosophies last. Good philosophies last. Techniques change. And because we never end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's get out there and take charge. I'm Eli's dad.